Alrighty, welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classics as Known Classic. This is episode number 1458 and Doubleshot number 1352. I have two trades here, one from Marvel, the other one from Dynamite. But Dynamite trade, the other thing I reviewed from Dynamite is, well, I'll get to basically that in a minute. Well, first up is a book I've not reviewed in quite some time. Darth Vader. Yep, this is the start of the brand new volume by Greg Pak. And believe it or not, this actually started just last year, believe it or not. Yep, started last year. Like, I was kind of surprised when they brought this book back. Yeah, unlike the previous volume, which was set during the 19-year time skip, which pretty much picked up right where that infamous scene where he says, "No!" Yeah, that one. Picked up from there. And ended with him getting his palace in Mustafar. There's references to that here too. This one is kind of similar to that, except this one picks up right where Empire Strikes Back leaves off. Yep, right at the events of that movie. Where he's doing some research and some investigating, where he basically programs a role about to work with him, and he goes on a bit of a tour in a way of visiting stuff from the prequel movies. Yep, the prequel movies. Oh, I should point out the artwork here is... Now, Greg Pak does do the artwork writing for this book. The artwork is done by Ralph Fatilla and Nico. And, man, this artwork is really good. I mean, yeah, this artwork is good. I kind of wish they bring back the artist of the original Darth Vader book. That artist was really good. I think the artist did his homework when it came to Vader. So Vader goes to various places. He apparently is supposed to report back to the Emperor, but he decides to do a little bit of a side quest for himself. So, first place he goes is a place that he vowed never to set foot on while he was Vader. What place is that? Tatooine. Yep, Tatooine. He makes a visit here. I believe this is the first time he's actually set foot in this place since... Well, I think the last time officially he was here, like on Tatooine itself, was back in Attack of the Clones. And the last time he was at this farm was also Attack of the Clones. Chronologically, the last time this farm actually physically appeared was actually in the previous volume for Star Wars. Yes, where it was actually just prior to Vader Down, where Luke Skywalker went to go visit the place, and Boba Fett was there. Yep, Vader himself had not stepped in this place in over, a long time. Let's see, I'm trying to think here. I think it's 6 plus 19. So, he has not been to this place in 25 years. Yeah, he has not stepped in this place in 25 years. Vader at this point, I think, is supposed to be in his 40s, I'd say. Because that kind of does make sense, because by Empire Strikes Back, by Revenge of the Sith, Anakin Skywalker is supposed to be around, 20-something. I think it's supposed to be about 22. And by the time of New Hope, he is roughly 41. I'd say he's basically around 44 at this point. Yeah, this is, of course, Darth Vader, mind you. And he finds out what exactly happened with Padme. I'm like, why the heck did it take him 25 years to figure out what happened to Padme? Who the heck knows? It's kind of weird, to say the least. So, he goes to Tatooine, gives a little bit of exploration of the place. Basically, you see scenes from Attack of Clones here, like the scene that came right after Anakin killed the Sand People in Attack of Clones. And after he stays here for a while, he leaves and goes to Naboo. Yep, another place he had vowed never to step foot. As far as I can tell, for this place, kind of like with Tatooine, where it's also been 25 years since he set foot here. And the first person he runs into, he runs into a familiar face, Sabi, one of Padme's handmaidens. And despite the fact she doesn't like Vader, and of course she's investigating what happened with Padme's death, what exactly happened, who killed her, even if Vader himself basically is not exactly investigating that. He's investigating something that was kept from a secret what secret? And they go to, the lakeside house. Another place not been seen in Attack of the Clones. It's like this book is basically like revisiting Attack of the Clones for reasons, but it's related to Anakin Skywalker. He goes to the lake house, and then he goes to the capital city of Theed. Yes, he goes here, and he runs into some people who, there's one person, I think there's a captain person here, who has not been seen since the Phantom Menace. Yes. I'm like, really? Yeah, really. Yeah, let me look him up on here, because I remember this guy, because he was in this movie. It is shocking, to say the least. Look, here's Sabi. And, yeah, she is suspending image of Padme because she's a double of hers. And, if you like the prequel movies, you would enjoy this book. It is just revisiting stuff from prequel movies that I don't think anybody even asked to. So, we have Captain Typhono. I believe he was the bodyguard for... Oh, yeah. Typhono, he was the one who appeared in The Phantom Menace. That's him right there, the black guy with the eye patch. Yeah, the one looks like Nick Fury. Yeah, this guy, probably by far the first of those guys has been seen, in any capacity since Phantom Menace. I think I heard that between Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, I think he retired. You have Tenor. I believe he was one of the guys who was Padme's bodyguard when it came to Tatooine. And then we have another thing reminiscing of Phantom Menace. Oh, look. It's a sub. Oh, yeah. And they're underwater. And, of course, we have reminiscent of Phantom Menace here. And, of course, the thing gets chopped up by a giant fish. Yep. But unlike what happened in Phantom Menace, where they came with some minor damage, here the whole thing was wrecked, but everybody managed to survive. They'll probably have Vader take out his lightsaber and slice the creature in half. And then we come across this a panel, he sees a wall. I'm gonna show this off to you. This thing ended Phantom Menace. Look at this thing. Yeah, this panel right here, this mural, that's the last thing people saw for the Phantom Menace. Because if you look at left or right, you have the boss right here in the middle. You have Padme here right next to him. You have Anakin Skywalker here onto the far left. The one in the robe between Padme, the one basically who is a short hair, that's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yep. Captain Typhoon is here. And you're probably thinking, who is that next to the boss? That's Palpatine when he was a senator. Yep. And of course, well, they go, and of course there's still... Yeah, we also have flashbacks to Revenge of the Sith, because of course we do. And, then we have this base basically get attacked, this tomb. And then he goes to Theed. Yeah, apparently he sends to the death of Sith Naboo and General Anakin Skywalker. You knew them? Oh yeah, this is the guy who was in also Phantom Menace. Wow, so much reminiscing here. And we come across, well, Padme's tomb. For some reason, they put her in the outfit, was the first attire they had her in Phantom Menace. I'm not really sure why. And then we have her being confronted by her handmaidens. And look at this panel right here. That's the outfit she wore when she was on Coruscant. Yep. So the handmaidens. And they'll fight. And of course, well, then he looks in the grave. He doesn't necessarily look at her body per se. She's probably dead for over 20 years. So they go to a place that also has not been seen on screen since Revenge of the Sith. But here's the thing. You actually go to this place in Star Wars Battlefront 2. Yeah, this is one of the locations you actually go to. What place is it? Polis Messiah. I think I'd say pronounce it. Yes, it's this asteroid where Padme gave birth to Luke and Leia, and that was the only on-screen appearance of this place. And apparently, since this movie, since Revenge of the Sith, the place has been banned. And of course, we have more reminiscing of Revenge of the Sith, like a scene pulled directly from toward the end of the movie, like before Mustafar. And we see various other things that we've seen in this prequel movie since, well, some of them have not been seen since Phantom Menace. Like, you see these yellow ships here? Yeah, those ships were not seen again after Phantom Menace. Yeah. So, then he kills the droid that he's been with the whole story arc. So, then he goes back to Coruscant, where he talks to Palpatine, and he says we need to run out with fear, and that's where the thing ends. I gotta say, this is actually pretty good. By the way, the thing is called Dark Heart of the Sith. This book is really good. The thing with the prequel movies is that they have been poked fun of over the years. I didn't know about the hate at all for the prequels. I kind of liked prequels when they came out. But here's the thing. I didn't know about the hate these movies got until, like, I was in my 20s. I had no idea about that because I saw Phantom Menace in theaters when I was 11. Yes, when I was 11 years old. And I missed Attack of Clones. By the way, I give this book a 9.5 out of 10. Yeah, basically, the best way to describe this book is that it is a partial love letter to the prequel movies. If, in fact, it was written by somebody else, if, in fact, the dialogue would not come from George Lucas, but from somebody else. Yeah. People poke fun at a lot of the problems with the prequel movies over the years. Like, the dialogue is one of the most common criticisms of the movies. The fact these movies did have no reason to exist. That's another people tend to insult the movies toward. People didn't like the performances of Hayden Christensen or even Jake Lloyd. Jake Lloyd himself, from what I heard, right after, because he got a very bad reception for his performance in Phantom Menace, he apparently was, get this, he was a Star Wars fan, and he apparently destroyed all of his Star Wars memorabilia just because people chastised his wooden performance. Yep, and he has dissed fans ever since. Hayden Christensen, on the other hand, well, I haven't heard anything if he was a Star Wars fan. I have not heard about that at all. But the guy himself has gotten not a lot of respect over the years because people think his acting is terrible. I mean, I think whenever he doesn't speak, he delivers a pretty good performance. I do agree with that. There are times, basically, when you watch Attack of Clones, I just try to hit the fast forward button to get through these ridiculous scenes. Like the scenes between him and Padme, played by Natalie Portman, which is in the story related to her, where she basically, even though she signed to do Phantom Menace, she had to do is play Phantom Menace. So George Lucas basically pushed the schedule ahead of time in order for her to do this play. Yep, and pretty much like, well, Palpatine, no one can deny he's one of the best things about the prequel movies, and the fact they actually brought back the original actor to play him, first time playing him since Return of the Jedi, and of course they did retroactively put him into Empire Strikes Back, which that change actually got a lot of positive reception when they added to that scene where Vader is contacting the Emperor. Yeah, that update got a lot of love. People thought that was definitely a good update. A lot of the stupid updates that a lot of stuff he did to George Lucas did to the original movie, people hated it. People hated the CGI creatures, the fact that, well, they made a lot of really ridiculous things there. But Empire Strikes Back didn't get a lot of changes to it. But in the case of this book overall, it is really good. I thoroughly enjoy it. I definitely think Greg Pak was definitely a good choice to write this book. Definitely. And I do have another volume coming soon, but it won't be for a couple more episodes. Alright, moving on to a Dynamite book. Yes, a Dynamite book. Now, the other thing previously I reviewed from Dynamite is Red Sonja stuff. I reviewed Spider-Man Red Sonja and 2 trades of the Red Sonja trade series. Aside from that, nothing. I have not reviewed anything else related to... Actually, scratch. I have reviewed a couple trades that collect Kevin Smith's one for Green Hornet. Yeah, so not many per se, but this is something that's not Green Hornet and not Red Sun. This is Army of Darkness and Xena. Yeah, this is the complete omnibus of all 3 miniseries team-ups they have between these 2 series. Now, there are a few different reasons why this series happened, that these miniseries happened. Well, for starters, well, Bruce Campbell is kind of the reason why Lucy Lawless got her start with Xena Warrior Princess. And the fact that, believe it or not, the people who made Xena Warrior Princess are the same people who made the Evil Dead movies. And this is basically their team-ups. Yep. Now, here's the thing. The first 2 miniseries, I did not read these 2 miniseries when they came out. The third one I did. Yes, third one I did. You have Xena vs. Army of Darkness, Volume 1. Why not? Xena vs. Army of Darkness, Volume 2. What, again? And the final one, Army of Darkness, Xena Warrior Princess, Forever. Yeah. Now, this book had, like, different writers for each miniseries. The first miniseries is by John Layman and Brandon Jawara. And, of course, the artwork for the first is done by the same person, and that is Miguel Montero. Brandon Jawara also does the second miniseries with Elliot Cerrito on the artwork, on the co-writing work. The last miniseries is by Scott Lobdell. Yes, Lobdell, not something from Lobdell. And the artwork for this one is by 3 different artists: Ellie Fernandez, Diego Galedo, and Igor Lemia. Yeah, apparently the color is done by this person is Xena first. Xena 1, I don't know who this person is. Yeah. Now, the cover right here, this is done by Nick Bradshaw. Yep. Yes, and I love this thing. No, the crossover, no one expected to be back for an omnibus encore, combining all 3 books into one epic book. Too big for one big movie or TV screen. Diamond presents the ultimate kick-ass crossover as Ash and his Army of Darkness meets Xena Warrior Princess. I mean, why the heck not? Of course, it's not the only time he's crossed over with anything. He apparently has also crossed up with Darkman. Yes, he had a crossover with Darkman. He also had a crossover with Vampirella. That was interesting. He's had many crossovers. Like, his most infamous ones are, like, Marvel Zombies vs. Army of Darkness. That's one of them. Another one is Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash. Yeah. All the miniseries, basically, Army of Darkness has been involved with that I've read, have been really good. The only one I agree that's not that good is Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash, Nightmare Warriors. That is not that good. Yep. The way that the first miniseries went is like, okay, because the fact that Bruce Campbell plays both their thief character, who appears in Xena Warrior Princess, and plays Ash. So, this is actually one of 2 series I've seen Dynamite do this, where because they're played with the same actor, let's just have 2 characters meet each other, like, in a comic book, who have shared screen, have played with the same actor, but never shared screen time together. The only time I've seen this, aside from this, was, get this, Escape from New York and Big Trouble in Little China, where they had the 2 characters, played by Kurt Russell, meet each other in that miniseries. Here it's like, oh, let's meet the thief, Carlos, I think his name is. Yeah, he's got a little mustache, a little spot here. Aside from that, he's almost a spitting image of Bruce Campbell, of Ash, because they're played by Bruce Campbell. That's the only reason why. So you have Bruce Campbell at S-Mart. Yes, he's still working for S-Mart, even though he's been worked there since the 80s. And he gets someone back in time to team up with Xena. The Valdivites. Yep. And they do this in all 3, like the first, even the second miniseries. Second one, she does remember the first thing. Third one, she technically does it because apparently with the third one, it's like going through various points of history. Like, at one point, seeing her as a baby. Another point, seeing her as a pirate. And I think it was the second miniseries, I think it was. Actually was the end of the third one, where this actually happened in one of the Xenacon books, where you had basically something that apparently this has been considered a lesbian series for Xena, when it had Xena and Gabby make out at the end of the last miniseries. Yep. These series are just so awesome and so purely fun. Yep. And I give this a 10 out of 10. This is just pure awesomeness at best. Heck, there's even one point for the Xena Forever and a Day. I think it's like Forever and a Day, where he goes to like, I think it's like the 20s, where apparently Xena and Gabby have become Indiana Jones as characters, and yeah, Gabby's the one who's won. Yeah, where it's become relic hunters, and yet Gabby's the boss and Xena's the subordinate, which I thought that was kind of hilarious. Yep, but 10 out of 10, really good. Highly recommended people fans of Army of Darkness and Xena Warrior Princess. Yep. Now, would I review anything else from Dynamite? Yes. I'm hoping to do more stuff from Dynamite. But this is the first thing not related to Red Sonja or Green Hornet I reviewed. Like, one thing I would love to review from Dynamite is, well, The Shadow. I would love to review The Shadow, because The Shadow's one of my favorite Pope characters. Would I think it'd be more Army of Darkness and Xena stuff? Yes. Definitely. There's a lot of stuff from Dynamite I would love to review, but gotta get my hands on first. Yep. So yeah, that's a particular review. Stay tuned later on today for my reviews for To Love for Darkness. Yep, I've got like a 2-part, hopefully, review for that, covering the OVAs. Okay? See you next video. Bye.